Hey gang, Tony here. It is 6:51 in the morning, and I am on my way to meet Mr. Tony of the Dead for another day of yard sailing. We're both running a little late today. Both of us. There's a yard sale right on my road. Oh man, they're even open. I'm gonna go check this out before I go to Tony. Oh man, he's gonna kill me. He will kill me. Okay, Tony, no need to worry. There was nothing good there. I stopped really quick because it was right on my road as I was leaving, and they were all out there putting their stuff up, even though it is only 6:54 in the morning. So I had to stop because I thought if there was some video games there, I'd be the first guy to see them. There were no video games, no Halloween stuff, no horror stuff. That's really all. I mean, I didn't spend a whole lot of time there. I kind of just jumped in, checked it out, and then left because I am late to meeting Tony. So yeah, that's about all that was. Nothing good. Anyway, so I'm on my way to meet Tony. Probably gonna even stop and get coffee before I get to my brother's house because I don't think we're gonna have time to get coffee once we kind of hit the road. And Mr. Tony of the Dead is bringing a ton of stuff to sell at my brother's yard sale. My brother's having a yard sale as well today, so he's not gonna be out with us, but he is gonna hold his own yard sale. Tony's bringing a bunch of stuff, so if I'm a few minutes late, that'll just give him a chance to set that up, I guess. We were gonna meet at 6:30, and he started running a little late. He didn't leave until like 10 after 6-ish, and I didn't know how long it takes for him to get here, so I overestimated, and a few minutes ago he was like, yeah, I'm about 4 miles away. I'm like, oh crap, 4 miles. So yeah, it happens. We're still out early enough for the yard sales. I mean, most of those don't start till 8, so we're good there. But we had planned on going to the flea market first, so now we're kind of getting into sort of iffy territory with that. So we'll see how it goes. But I am rambling enough. I am going to leave now. What was that, Tony? Come on, you're better than that. I think there's going to be a yard sale there too. That's the worst part about getting out this early, is when you're driving around, you see the signs, but nothing actually started yet, so I'm passing all this stuff that won't be started till later. But it's like there's a yard sale sign right there. Then there's 2 more. I don't know what to do. Alright guys, I will see you in a bit. Later. Hey everybody, or oh my god, I said everybody instead of gang. Tony here with Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Yo.
Hey.
I don't know why I just said yo.
Yo. We just finished up a day of yard sailing.
Yes.
We're currently at my brother's yard sale. He's packing up for the day. And we're pretty much done. We've finished up. And we did pretty well, I think, right?
I think so.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do an official, like, this is what I got at the yard sales thing at the end of this video, I don't think, because there's, maybe a couple things I'll feature, but I just want to show you guys kind of a peek into a box that Tony and I got together and split. So what you're about to see is actually only half of it. Tony has the other half, I think, in his car or something.
It's still over there.
Oh, it's over there?
In a box.
Maybe we'll give a peek in there. Sure. So here's the peek that you guys are gonna get. Let's take a peek. Tony brought a bunch of stuff to sell. He brought a ton of Star Wars figures. He brought totes of stuff. It looks like no one really picked.
I got rid of one.
Oh yeah, one of them.
He-Man.
Oh right. There was a bin. I should have got. You probably have pictures maybe, but we should have got video of that. Tony had an entire tote, like we just showed you, of the Star Wars, filled with, what was it, He-Man stuff?
Yeah.
Old He-Man stuff. And
all original from when I used to play with them when I was little.
Yeah.
And I didn't get what I really wanted, but I just wanted them gone. That they were missing, their weapons and their armor and stuff. But truth is, though, a bug in my nose. I do have a few more that I forgot to add to that box at home, so maybe those will go on eBay.
Ah, cool. Right on. Yeah, so Tony got rid of that. You know, sold it at Mike's yard sale. And
he didn't like the knives I brought him.
he liked them. Is this all stuff you got today?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe do you want me to show this, or are you going to do an official on your site, your video?
I guess I could do it official.
All right, all right. So
you could do like
a little, yeah, okay. I already kind of did. So here's like a little peek.
There we go.
There we go. So yeah, Tony has the other half of the video games from the box I showed you, plus a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he picked up a lot of stuff. I have a couple other things. Maybe I'll show you guys. But yeah, we didn't film all day, so kind of figured maybe we should do something, right?
Yeah. It's kind of just going to be a, hey, I'm going to meet Tony, and then it's, here's this video, and then here's what I got.
Right.
Mine's going to be even less than that.
It's gonna be. That's the exact same thing I did. I shot the introduction, and now the end of the day.
Yeah.
And
we didn't feel like it. We didn't feel like filming.
yeah.
Plus, we didn't find anything until like an hour ago.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. The entire day was actually a bust. We were. I mean, you could tell the story on your. I won't tell it now.
Yeah.
But
you could tell the story if you want. I mean, this is yours. None of your subscribers want to watch me.
They should. Go to Mr. Tony of the Dead's YouTube channel. You see, you'll get stuff like that
All the time.
right in the face.
You get a lot of this when I do a video. You get a lot of this.
Speaking of in the face,
a lot of cut off sneezes.
that's one story we could tell because it's really short. We're we were talking to an elderly woman at a yard sale about the prices of some books. And what happened? What'd she do?
Farted.
She farted right on us.
She dust cropped at us, I guess.
She backed it in.
Yeah. And I said, "Did you fart?"
Yeah, he asked me right in front. He's like, "Did you just fart?" I was like, "It wasn't me."
It wasn't right in front of her.
What?
She wouldn't have heard
No,
it anyway.
yeah, she couldn't really hear. She backed away a little. Actually, she kind of ran off after that, didn't she?
I thought she cropped it. She dust cropped it, everything. So everything that was at the yard sale was covered in shit cloud.
Shit cloud, yeah. Yeah, she blasted, and I guess she was aware of it at least, which says something about her mental state. Because she took off. She's like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
I don't think she filled
I thought
up.
it was funny.
It was very funny.
Farts are funny.
That was probably the highlight of the day until our last score. So.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. So say goodbye to Mr. Tony of the Dead, and I suppose I will come back with maybe a little bit of a show and tell. Not everything, but some of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, check you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey gang, Tony here, finishing up the yard sale video. So you had a lot to watch already. I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick, but you video game collectors probably going to want to stick around for this. Okay, so Tony brought me some stuff. I wanted to show you just a few of those things. Not everything, but he gave me a giant bag of stuffed plush things, and some of the ones that I liked a lot that I'm going to put out for the couch is California Raisin, because California Raisin. So that guy's going to be out here somewhere. We got a Michelangelo. These are all from like the 80s and stuff too. It's an old Michelangelo, which will stick somewhere. I'm running out of room here, guys. And we have Charlie Brown. These are my favorites out of the bag, but he gave me a ton of stuff. So these are very cool. I figured I need to represent a little bit on the futon with some of the retro stuff. Also out of the stuff that Tony gave me, which is really cool, he gave me this candy corn game, which obviously, apropos, pretty cool, and some old party wear, Care Bears and Wuzzles, napkins and plates and things. I think there's some party hats in here, possibly, like crowns. He basically said he didn't know what to do with it, and like thought I might appreciate it, and I do. It's really cool stuff, so put that off to the side as well. I'm not going to leave it like on the futon, but, you know, pretty cool stuff. I also, alright, so I don't know what I told you in the other part of the video, but basically it was a pretty, volume-wise, it was a pretty crappy day in terms of the sales that we went to. We went to 2 flea markets and like, I think 3 yard sales altogether, which is kind of crazy because there were like no yards. We were driving around all day, barely any yard sales. Tony and I resigned ourselves to kind of like an okay day. when something amazing happened. Something crazy. We'll get to that. But before we get to that, yeah, I'm making you wait. You guys kind of already saw, I think. I sort of gave a little peek, so you kind of saw most of what it was, I think. Those of you with eagle eyes definitely spotted it, so it's not that much of a secret. But I picked up this Wacky Wednesday book. That's actually just for a friend that was looking for Dr. Seuss books. So I snagged that. I also got a couple of things at the flea market. Nothing great, but I got a sealed Twisted Metal 3. So that's Twisted Metal 3 for PlayStation 1. Still factory sealed. The case is pretty smashed up, but, you know, what are you going to do? That was only a couple bucks. I figured I'd pick that up because sealed games tend to be a little more valuable, as we're going to say. Also found a copy of Brain Scan, which that for $1. So I figured, I haven't seen that in quite a while. So I got that. And actually I've been wanting to see this, so that was a nice score. And then we hit the last yard sale. Alright? I walk over, and as the story goes, I found a Super Nintendo game. Not a very good Super Nintendo game. Nothing special. Boxing Legends of the Ring. You guys probably know by now, sports games, boxing games, not really that sought after. I didn't look this up, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for like $2. He wanted $1. And given the crappy luck we had all day, I was like, I'm just going to buy it because I haven't gotten anything else really except these couple games. So I picked that up, which of course leads me to ask the guy, do you have any other video games? And he said, not out. I hesitated, and I asked him, well, do you have them inside? Would you mind getting them? He's like, alright. So he goes in, we're checking out. These guys were pretty cool, man. I gotta say, just an interlude here. Real cool guys. The one dude is actually an FX horror guy, and he does like FX makeup and everything. We were talking about horror and all this, the Halloween stuff that he does. He like decks out his car for the holiday. Real cool dudes. He comes out. The other guy comes out with a box of stuff. Now, Tony and I, of course, are there together. So, and earlier in the day, I had said to Tony, listen, man, we're out there yard selling together. We both look for video games and horror stuff and whatnot. So let's just say now, if we find like an amazing score, if we find a huge lot of stuff, let's just go in on it together. We'll pay for it together. We'll split it down the middle, and we'll share. Because it seemed like the fairest thing to do, and no one will get hurt feelings that way, and it'll be cool. So we both kind of look at each other like, holy crap, there's video games. There's actually video games. We start looking through, and a particular thing catches our eye, which we'll get to. That I'm going to save that for last. But there were just a ton of games in there. And, you know, I asked the guy if he would be willing to sell the whole lot. And he kind of seemed a little hesitant, so we went through each thing. He wanted to see what was in there. And then I asked him how much he would want. He gave us a price. We agreed on it. Bingada bangada boomada. He only took out a couple of things. He took out a Game Boy player, a Game Boy Advance, and a few Game Boy games. Other than that, and all the memory cards he wanted to hold on to. Other than that, everything stayed in the lot. So, without further ado, what we have, this is what I kept. There's another half. Half of this is gone. It's in Tony's possession. So if you want to see what the rest of the video games were, you got to go to Mr. Tony of the Dead's channel and check out his video. And he'll have the rest of the video games. He has a nice solid kind of game titles, you know. Basically what happened was a lot of the games I already own, because my collection is kind of huge. So I told him, go ahead and take the games that I already have. And there are a lot of really like solid titles in there. So I think he should be pretty happy with what he got. For me, I got Killer Instinct Gold on the Nintendo 64. I got, for one reason or another, Tony told me to take the Super Game Boy. I told him I already have it, but I guess he didn't want it. So I have one of those. I'll probably have to sell it or something. Also got a Game Genie for the Super Nintendo, which is pretty awesome. I just got a Game Genie from my Nintendo stuff, which you guys saw. So that was pretty cool. Tony didn't seem to mind letting that one go. Those were a couple of things I needed. Well, that one anyway. We have... Let me show you the... I have a lot of stinkers in my pile, kind of. You know, they're games I didn't have, but they're also really, you know, like $2, $3, $4 games. So I have that boxing one as one of those. I got the Zoop, which I'm not really that familiar with, but I'm pretty sure it's not like a sought after game. Tetris Attack, again, you know, meh. Got a copy of Lion King, which I think I had and then maybe traded, so I was like, let me take that and check it out. I got one of these, I believe, maybe another one, and I think Tony got a couple of these too. I actually don't have any of these. This is the first ones I have, so that's kind of cool. And then getting into slightly better games, we have Super Mario World, which I do already have, but again, Tony was kind of, I guess maybe he has it already or something, because he didn't want that one. So I have that. I got Magic Sword, which I've never heard of, but it looked like a pretty cool game, and I don't have it, so I put it in my pocket because I don't have it. And now getting into some of the really cool stuff. We got The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Again, another one of these guys. I needed this, and I wanted it. And I also got the Legends of Zelda Majora's Mask for the 64 with the lenticular front label, which is pretty damn sweet. Now, this is kind of where Tony wanted these as well. I wanted them, but you know, that's kind of why I wanted him to get a lot of solid titles, because I knew that he kind of wanted the Zelda games too. So that was kind of a hard decision, but I got those. And then in the Game Boy player, in the Super Game Boy thing, there was Mega Man 4. 4? Yeah. Which he kind of just left in the thing. Was like, okay, you could take that one because it's in the thing. So I was pretty psyched about that. And then I actually had to ask him, he took a lot of Game Boy stuff out. I actually had to ask him if he wouldn't mind putting this one back in the lot, because I really wanted this as well. It's the Legends of Zelda Link's Awakening. So I got a pretty good Zelda lot here. I will say Tony did get a Zelda game as well, so he did get one or two. I forget. And I also have Hey You Pikachu in the box. It's not complete. It has, the box is in nice condition, but it has the game in there, and it has the manual, but it does not have the, there's this like little microphone attachment thing, so it's not complete. Someone already kind of said they were interested in getting it. I think I might be working something out with them for that, because I'm not a huge fan of this. So, alright, so that's that. And we also got some manuals. I got the Tetris Attack manual. I got the Magic Sword manual. I got the Zoop manual, although it looks like it's maybe ripped and not the whole manual, which, whatever. I got a Call of Duty manual for some reason. There's no Call of Duty game in the lot at all, so that, I don't know where that came from. Tony was very cool about this. He let me also snag the Zelda Ocarina of Time manual. Now, he took the game, but I have a copy of that game, which is part of the reason why he took that one. But I asked if he wouldn't mind if I took the manual to make my game a little more complete. He didn't seem to mind. I think he's planning on just keeping the games. So that was really cool, Tony. Thank you so much for letting me snag that. And We also have the last one, The Legends of Zelda: Link to the Past manual, which is really awesome to have, because I really don't have much Zelda manuals, and ooh, awesome! It has the map in there as well. So, in the manual, he still had the whole map unfolds for the for that game. That's pretty sweet. I've been trying to get some of the maps and things for the older games. Okay, or for the Zelda games, I mean. Okay, so that's all the manuals and everything. I also picked up at that particular yard sale a copy of Chrono Cross on PS1. This is separate. This was I paid extra for this on the side. Chrono Cross. And Parasite Eve. These are complete. Black label. So that's cool. And finally, the crown jewel of the lot. So Tony and I split everything down the middle, and this one thing is left that we can't split down the middle physically. So we have to sell it so we could split the money. That's the plan, because we said that we were going to do this down the middle thing, and there's no other way to do this. That last item, Conker's Bad Fur Day, complete, in the box, sealed. I still can't believe that we got this. It's kind of amazing. Tony and I were very excited about this. We'd love to keep it somehow. We talked about it. Like, you keep it for 5 days, I keep it for 5 days. But at the end of the day, although this is an amazing piece to have in a collection, and I would love to just kind of put it on a shelf and like have that in the collection, there's really no way for us to do that. Unless, I guess I could just give him money, his half of the money, and keep the game, but I don't know. So, that is what turned us around this is the best, lot of stuff that I've gotten in quite a while. I haven't gotten many good, yard sales have been kind of scarce, so this really made the summer for me and Tony, and it was really cool to have shared this with Tony. And I told Tony this, and this is the absolute truth, because, you might think like, oh, are you upset that you didn't find this by yourself so you could keep everything, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And honestly, first of all, no, because I got to share this experience with Tony, which was freaking amazing. But also, logically speaking, I thought about this. If Tony didn't come here today, neither of us would have gotten this. Because my brother was doing a yard sale today. I would have spent the entire day with my brother at his yard sale. I wouldn't have gone out. I would have never gotten this at all. So if Tony didn't come, Tony had to be here for this to happen. There you go. Freaking awesome. I'm going to close this out with a quick unboxing. I got a game off of eBay. I'll show you really quick. I've been kind of obsessive about video games lately. With school starting on Monday, I don't know why, because I'm not going to have time to play anything. But I kind of got to a point where I was like, I got to buy this. So I picked up a copy of Splatterhouse on the Xbox 360. And the reason I ended up getting this is kind of cool that he put it in a bag. That's really nice. But the reason I ended up getting Splatterhouse for 360 is because I was actually looking for Splatterhouse 2 and some of the older Splatterhouse games for like the Genesis or TurboGrafx or whatever. And I kind of want to really play those games. I was watching people's videos, and I found out, I had no idea, that apparently the original games are on here as like an unlockable feature. So that's why I got this, so I could try to unlock the older games to play, which is pretty cool. So there you go. That's going to do it. This is probably a very long video. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Happy Sunday, which is probably when you're going to end up watching this. Breathe deep of the night. And I hope I'm around when school starts, because I'm going to be busy. Alright guys, take it easy.